Okay, everyone. So we're going to start by coming down to our backs and starting with our centering. Just getting us ourselves set up into a comfortable position. Getting out any little wiggles or wriggles that we need to get fully comfortable. And we'll take a nice, slow, long belly filling breath in. Nice, slow, long exhale out. Good. Nice, slow, long belly filling breath in. And nice, slow, long exhale out. We're going to repeat that breath one more time. Nice, slow, long belly filling breath in. And nice, slow, long exhale out. And just allowing ourselves to melt or to connect with our mat. And maintaining a relaxed but focused attention. So should your mind wander, bring it back to your inhales and your exhales. Allowing your shoulders to open, allowing your hips to melt, allowing your feet to roll out to the side. We'll stay here for a few more breaths. Take a nice, slow, long inhale in. As we exhale, we'll roll our knees into our chest for a hug. A nice squeeze. Good. You can soften your embrace a little bit and then just give a nice gentle rock from side to side. Right, coming to stillness, we'll release our feet down to the mat. We're going to point those right toes up to the sky like a ballerina. And push through the heel, getting nice and long through the calves. Make circles in one direction with the right ankle. And in the other. Good. Coming to stillness, we're going to push through the heel again, and then we're just going to bring that foot in alignment with the belly button. So still push through the heel. You'll feel quite a bit of lengthening coming up the back of the whole leg. If you don't quite feel it, just make some small adjustments until you really feel that lengthening coming up the back of the leg. Okay. And then we're going to bring that right ankle below the left knee, coming into our reclined pigeon. If you want to go deeper, you can bring those hands to the front of the left shin, just keeping those hips squared off with the ceiling. And bringing our breath into those spaces that we feel lengthening. few more breaths. Now, keeping that right ankle where it is, we're going to release that left foot to the floor, and now we'll cross that right knee over the left. Arms come out into T position. We'll take those legs over to the left side of the mat and point our face towards our right fingers. Taking a few slow, long inhales and exhales here. Good. Inhale the legs to center. Exhale, release the right foot down to the mat. Left toes come up to the sky, pointing through those toes like a ballerina. And then push through that heel. And now let's bring that foot over top of the belly button. It's almost in alignment with the belly button. You should feel quite a bit of lengthening coming through that left leg all the way, probably into your glute, maybe even in your lower back. Pushing through the heel. Let's stack that ankle back over top of the hip. We'll make circles in one direction with the ankle and in the other. Good. Let's bring that left ankle below the right knee, coming into our reclined pigeon. Hands can either come to the back of the right leg or to the front of the shin. We'll just keep those hips squared off with the ceiling. And some nice slow, long inhales and exhales here. Few more breaths. Leaving the left ankle where it is. Big breath in. Exhale, release the right foot to the floor. Left knee crosses the right, arms back out into T position. Let's take those legs over to the right side of the mat, and we'll point our face towards our left fingers. Breath in. Exhale, let's come back to center, releasing that left foot to the floor. We're going to walk those heels towards the bottom, arms down to our sides, curling the shoulders underneath one another. Push the pelvis up, coming into our bridge pose. Nice and slow, we'll lower down one vertebrae at a time. We're going to let our bottom touch the mat, and then we'll push back up into our bridge. Lower down nice and slow, one vertebrae at a time. We're going to allow our bottom to touch, and then push back up to the sky. Lower down, nice and slow. Our bottom will touch. And then last time, pushing our pelvis back up to the sky. And lower all the way down. Good. And we'll bring our feet into cobbler, allowing those knees to be nice and heavy, releasing the shoulders. If you find that you're really tight into the hips and the groin, you can add a pulse to the knees, like the wings of a butterfly, or you can stay in stillness, whatever you prefer here. And taking our breath down into our hips, into our pelvis. Couple more breaths. Let's inhale the knees together. Exhale, bringing your hands underneath your bottom. We're going to reach the feet up for the sky. And you can stay here. For those of you that want to go further, we can lift our bottom off the mat, still reaching those toes upwards. If you want to go even further, you can bring those feet behind you, coming into your full plow pose. If you're in your full plow, let's reach those feet back up to the sky. Nice and controlled. We're going to slowly lower ourselves back down to the mat, releasing our feet. We'll come over to our tummies. All right. And let's reach that right hand to the top left corner. Left arm reaches over the right to the top right corner, reaching through the fingers. Good. Let's slide the right arm out, reaching it over the left. Again, reaching through the fingers. Big breath in. Exhale, let's bring our hands underneath our shoulders, elbows nice and tight into the sides. Inhale up to cobra. Exhale the breath out. Big breath in. Exhale, baby cobra. So we're keeping those biceps engaged while we lower. So still keeping them working and active. Inhale, cobra. Exhale the breath out. Big breath in. Exhale, baby cobra. Again, keep activating those biceps, trying to keep the shoulders away from the ears. Inhale, cobra. Exhale the breath out. Big breath in. Exhale, baby cobra. Good. Allowing the arms to soften. We're going to bring them down towards our side, lifting up our torso, reaching through the fingers, and then lifting the legs off of the mat, reaching through the toes. Keeping our gaze down at the mat. Right, and let's allow everything to release down to the mat. We can come down to one side of our face. Just allow everything to become soft. Good. We're going to lift our torso again. This time we're going to bring our cactus arms out, lifting the legs, and then we'll reach our hands forward, almost as if we're doing a breaststroke, and then back to our cactus arms. Reach forward. Cactus arms. Reach forward. Back to our cactus. One more time. Reach forward. Come to our cactus, and then allow everything to become heavy down to the mat again. Let's lift that torso off the mat again. This time, reaching our hands forward like Superman, lifting our feet off of the mat. Let's bring those hands underneath the shoulders, releasing the legs. Bring those knees to the width of the mat, coming back into our child's pose. And being active in this child's pose, using the heel of your hands to push your bottom towards your heels. And push up into our tabletop. Bring our hips over top of the knees. Let's curl those toes under. Belly button into the spine. Inhale to your cow. Exhale, cat. Inhale, cow. Exhale, cat. Inhale, cow. Exhale, cat. One more time. Inhale to our cow. Exhale, cat. Coming back to our tabletop. Inhale the left fingers up to the sky. Exhale, thread the needle, reaching that right arm up to the top of the mat. Right hand underneath the right shoulder. Inhale, left fingertips up. Exhale, release. Inhale, right fingertips up. Exhale, thread the needle. Left hand up to the top of the mat. Good job. Left hand under the left shoulder. Inhale the right fingertips up. Exhale, release. We're going to sit our bottom back onto our heels, keeping those toes curled under, and then reaching our hands behind our back, interlacing the fingers, and just gently pulling those hands down towards the bottom. Good. And let's come up into full kneel. We're going to bring that left hand back to the left heel, right arm up and back. Big breath in. Exhale, switching sides. Right hand to right heel, left hand up and back. Inhale up to center. Exhale, we'll come into seated or into our easy pose. Good. Seated nice and tall, pushing through the crown of the head. Let's inhale the shoulders up to the ears. Exhale, around and down. Inhale up. Exhale back. One more time. Inhale up. Exhale, around and back. Good. Let's drop those chins down to our chest. And then roll that left ear over to the left shoulder. Good. Now we're going to point that chin slightly up to the sky. Drop the chin down, and we're going to roll all the way over to the other side. Good. And push, put that chin up towards the ceiling. Drop the chin down. We're going to roll our head back to center. Good. Right hand to the left knee, left hand behind us. Big breath in. Exhale, coming into your twist. Use that left knee for some leverage. Breath in. Exhale, let's flow all the way over to the other side, this time using that right knee for some leverage. Exhale to center. Legs are going to come nice and wide. And you can decide if you want to push through the heels or whether you want to leave the feet soft. If you're pushing through the heels, you're going to get more lengthening coming up the back of the legs. Just keeping in mind, we're coming into a forward fold, so you might find that a little much into the hamstrings. So just listen to your body and what's feeling good. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, forward fold. We'll walk our hands over towards our left foot. Walking our hands over to our right foot. Our hands to center, and then bring ourselves up to center. We'll bring our feet straight out in front of us. The right foot's going to step over the left leg. You can either use your left hand to your right knee, or you can use the elbow to come to the other side. Our right hand is propping up our spine nice and tall. Push through the crown of the head, having that big breath in. Exhale, coming into that twist. In. Exhale to center, right foot to the inside of the left leg. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, forward fold. Starting at the tailbone, we'll roll ourselves up nice and slow, bringing the shoulders all the way up to the ears, around and back, lengthening out that right leg. Left foot steps over the right. So again, you can bring your hand to that left knee, or you can bring that right elbow to the outside. Left arm's propping up our spine nice and tall. Big breath in. Exhale, come into your twist. Exhale to center. We'll bring that left foot to the inside of the right leg. Inhaling, arms up. Exhale, fold. Starting at the tailbone, nice and slow, rolling ourselves up to seated, shoulders up to the ears, around and back. We'll come back over to our tabletop. Just make sure you're kind of mid-mat here. And we're going to step that left foot forward, coming into that 45-degree angle with the front leg, and then bringing that knee over top of the ankle. Right knee comes off the mat, right hand connected to the mat, left hand up to the sky. Making sure we're stacking that front knee over ankle. We can get a little lower into the right heel. Nice. Left hand comes to the outside of the left foot. Release that right knee. Inhale, arms up. Exhaling, hands together as we come into a slight back bend. Hands come to either side of the left foot. Let's step ourselves back into plank. Rolling to the outside of the right foot, inside of the left foot. Left hand comes up to the sky, side plank. Beautiful. Nice transition. Left hand down to the mat, coming back to plank. Release the knees into tabletop. Step that right foot forward, coming into that 45-degree angle, and then stacking the right knee over top. Good. Let's bring that left hand nice and strong down to the mat, lifting that left leg. Right fingers reach up to the sky. You can get low into that left heel if you like. Release the left knee. Inhale, arms up to the sky. Exhale into your slight back bend. Hands to either side of the right foot. We're going to step back into our plank again. Roll to the outside of the left foot, inside of the right. Right fingers reach up to the sky. Right hand comes back down to the mat, bring us back into plank. Push up into our down dog. Let's take our dog for a walk. Good. Coming to stillness, roll forward into plank. We're going to flow all the way through to our up dog or cobra. Exhale down. Looking between the thumbs, we'll hop or step forward. Inhale, flat back. Exhale, fold. Inhale, arms all the way up to the sky. Exhale, hands to heart center. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, fold. Step back, down dog. We're going to flow all the way through to our up dog or cobra. Exhale down. Looking between our thumbs, hop or step forward. Inhale, flat back. Exhale, fold. Inhale, arms all the way up to the sky. Exhale to heart center. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, fold. Step back, down dog. Flow all the way through to your up dog or cobra. Exhale down. Good. Right leg, three-legged dog. You can stay here or come on over into your flip dog. Right leg, three-legged dog. We're going to step that right foot forward as we inhale up to our warrior two. Exhale into your triangle. Beautiful. Flow back, reverse warrior. You guys are on it today. Good stuff. Inhale to warrior two. Inhale, one. Good. Exhale, we're going to bring our hands behind our back as we fold forward onto that right front leg. You can keep your hands to the small of your back, or you can lift them off the spine. Good. We're going to reach those hands down to the mat, pulling ourselves up into our warrior one. Exhale to tree. Let's stay here for a few breaths. Hands to heart center. Release the left foot into mountain. Beautiful flow, everyone. Very nice. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, fold. Step back, down dog. We're going to flow all the way through to our up dog or cobra. Exhale Down dog. Left leg, three-legged dog. We can stay here or come on over into your flip dog. Left leg, three-legged dog. Let's step that left foot forward as we inhale up to our warrior two. Exhale to triangle. Flow back into your reverse warrior. Inhale to warrior two. Exhale one. Good. Hands again behind the back. We're going to forward fold. And you can leave your hands on the small of the back or you can lift them off the spine. Good. We're going to allow those hands to flow down to the mat, pulling ourselves back into our warrior one. Flow into your tree. Let's stay here for a couple breaths. And release into mountain. Beautiful flow, everyone. Very nice. Okay. Let's give those ankles a little bit of a roll out, a little bit of a shake. Right. All right. Feet are hip width apart. We're going to start with our left leg into our tree pose. Preferably do your lower tree coming to the calf. Hands at heart center, pushing through the crown nice and tall. Couple breaths here. Right, nice and strong. We're going to flow into our high lunge. So taking that left foot back, make sure you feel nice and steady, arms up to the sky and getting low into that left foot. Beautiful. Good. Hands come behind us. We're going to flow forward into our warrior three, but hands by the sides. So we're switching it up a little bit here today. Inhale up to tree, hands at heart center. Exhale the breath out. And let's flow into our dancer. Just listening to what's comfortable, doing what's comfortable for our bodies. And we'll release into mountain. Nice flow. Good job. All right, you can give those feet a little shake again. Give the ankles a little wiggle. Okay. And we'll bring that right foot this time to the left calf. Stay in your low tree. Just coming into a high lunge from a high tree can be a little finicky. So we'll stay at the lower one today. Hands at heart center. Nice tall trees. Really push through the crown of that head. All right. We're going to step that right foot back, coming into our high lunge, getting low into that right heel. Nice. Big breath in. Exhale, hands behind us, coming into our warrior three. Flow into your tree, hands at heart center. Keep getting frisked by this plant. And flow into your dancer. Release to mountain. Very nice. Good job, everyone. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, fold, bringing our feet just past hip width apart as we come into our ragdoll. Taking a few slow, long inhales and exhales here, allowing time for the spine to lengthen. gonna bring those hands down to the mat. We're gonna step the left foot back into our warrior two legs. Inhale up to warrior one. Exhale two. Good. Flow into your goddess. Tuck that tailbone under. Big breath in. Exhale, turn the left toes to the bottom of the mat as we flow back into our warrior two. Good. Big breath in. Exhale to goddess. Big breath in. Exhale, right toes to the top of the mat, coming back into our warrior two. Inhale, one. Exhale, step up into our mountain. Nice stuff. All right. Same thing on the other side. Let's step that right foot back, coming into our warrior two legs. Good. Big breath in. Exhale to goddess. Tuck the tailbone under. Big breath in. Exhale, right toes to the bottom of the mat as we come back into our warrior two. Good. Big breath in. Exhale to goddess. Big breath in. Exhale, left toes to the top of the mat, back into our warrior two. Inhale, one. Exhale, step up into our mountain. Good job. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, fold. Step back, down dog. Left leg, three-legged dog. Let's bring that left knee forward for mountain climber. Left leg, three-legged dog. Forward for mountain climber. Left leg, three-legged dog. Forward for mountain climber. Left leg, three-legged dog. And this time coming all the way through to our pigeon and allowing everything to melt into the mat. Today, I'd like you to try and keep your hips parallel. So just noticing if we're rolling into the right hip or into the left cheek, just trying to keep those hips parallel to the top of the mat. And you can stay either on your forearms or come all the way down to your forehead. Few more breaths here. Just staying connected with our inhales and our exhales. Reaching a little further through those right toes. Seeing if we can melt a little closer to the mat. Nice, slow, long inhale in. Exhale it out. Okay, bringing our hands underneath our shoulders, pushing our torso up. We'll put a bend into that right knee. Left hand's going to reach back for that right foot. We're going to keep our gaze to the top of the mat, taking a couple breaths here. Big breath in. Exhale, releasing the right foot, keeping the bend in the knee. Left hand comes down to the mat. Right hand reaches back for the right foot. You can stay here. Those of you that want to come into your king pigeon, reaching those left fingers up to the sky. Left hand comes down to the mat. Let's curl those right toes under. Left leg, three-legged dog. Release that left foot. Let's take our doggo for a little walk. Good. Coming to stillness, right leg, three-legged dog. Bring that right leg forward for your pigeon. And again, just keeping those hips squared off with the top of the mat. So just being mindful if we're rolling into the left side or the right cheek. Just trying to keep ourselves squared off with the top. You can come down to your forearms or all the way down to your forehead. Staying connected with your breath here. And if we can reach a little further through the left toes, maybe melt a little closer into the mat. And taking notice of our inhales and our exhales. A nice big breath in. As we exhale, we'll bring our hands underneath our shoulders, pushing our torso up. We'll put a bend into the left knee. Right hand reaches back for the left foot, keeping our gaze to the top of the mat. Keeping the bend in our knee, we'll release the right hand down to the floor. Left hand comes back for the left foot. We can stay here, or you can come up into your full pigeon. Release the right hand and the left foot. Curl those left toes under. Right leg, three-legged dog. And let's take our doggo for a walk. Good. Coming to stillness, knees come to the width of the mat as we push back into a passive child's pose. We'll start by coming down to the right side of the face and just allowing everything to melt. Just allowing everything to soften. Nice and slow, turn our head into the opposite direction. And slow. We'll push ourselves up into our tabletop. And then we'll reach for our blocks. We're going to come into our supported Lord of Fish pose. Top block, medium height, lower block, lowest height. If you do not have blocks, you can always use a pillow or a towel underneath your shoulders and your head comes back. For those of you that have blocks, that lower block comes between the shoulder blades and the top block will support the crown of the head. We'll start with our knees bent today. And just if you don't have blocks, I'll show you. If you have a pillow or a blanket, you just allow your head to come down to the floor. Right, and we're all going to bring our arms out to the side, palms facing up. And think about bringing the breath into the collarbone, into the shoulder. And take a few slow, long inhales and exhales here. Good. Nice, slow, long inhales and exhales here. Lengthen our legs the full length of the mat. Allow the ankles to be soft so our feet roll to the sides. You can stay with your legs lengthened out, or you can bring them into cobbler or into easy pose, whatever feels best for you here. Stay here for a few more breaths. Nice and slow, we're going to push ourselves up into seated. We'll inhale the arms up. Exhale, fold, reaching through those hands. And Nice and slow, pushing ourselves back up into seated. We're going to get ourselves ready for Shavasana. So getting whatever you need, whether it's your eye pillows or bolster for underneath your legs or a sweater, whatever you need to get comfortable. And then we'll come down to our backs. Just allowing everything to melt. Any wiggles or adjustments that you need to get fully comfortable so that we can come into stillness. And just noticing the inhales and the exhales. Maintaining your relaxed but focused attention. And stillness, bringing our awareness back to our breath, noticing the movement with each breath in our shoulders, our ribs, our tummy. Take a nice, slow, long belly filling breath in. Nice, slow, long exhale out. And nice, slow, long belly filling breath in. Nice, slow, long exhale out. Bring gentle movements to our fingers and our toes. We'll bring our awareness to our heart center, thinking about something that makes us happy or brings us joy. First thing that comes to mind could be big or little. And allow that feeling of happiness to fill your heart center, allowing that feeling to grow, reaching all the way down to the tips of your toes, to your fingertips, all the way up to the crown of your head. Allow that happiness to bring a smile to your lips and genuinely bring it there. Allow that feeling of happiness to grow, to radiate. Take a nice, slow, long belly filling breath in. And as we exhale, we'll come over to our right side. We'll stay here for a few more breaths. Take another slow, long belly filling breath in. Exhaling it out. And when we're ready, we'll push ourselves up into seated. And bring our hands to heart center, giving ourselves thanks for making time for ourselves in our practice today. Thank you for sharing your practice with me. Namaste. Thanks, everyone.